Somebody joins the forward line with Oshola and Onumono, then I think our forward line is good to go. So there should be no fear playing against Australia team.
I think they should start Gift Monday ahead of either I think Onumono for me, because you look at Gift Monday, I think she has a better connection with the ball. She's faster, and the way she if you look at the games we've played, talk about the numbers, she knows how to give the numbers for that side, because the most important thing for us now is to score a goal, is not to have a draw. But even while we want to be on the offensive side, we also have to be good defensively, and that is one work we've been able to do. But it will definitely be difficult. So no matter how you talk about, you can't compare the African Women's World Cup of Nations with the World Cup stage. When you're playing, the first game the Australian played was more than 75,000 capacity. That was not up to what you had in the WAFCON. So you can't even compare these two things together. And for the Australians, they already had 3 points. So what they want to do, they might want to seal off this position as early as possible, because they don't know how it's going to be when they face Canada. Canada is also a big name when it comes to female football. So it's really difficult on our own end, being that we only have 1 point against the co-hosts that have 3 points. So if you want to, how best can you do it to wrap it up in the second game? So it will be difficult for us, but is it a hurdle that we can pass? I think is something definitely achievable by the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
All right, something achievable by the Falcons. Let's move to talk about the games played earlier today. We did make mention of the fact that Philippines defeated New Zealand by a lone goal to nothing, and it was such a match, I tell you. It could have been more, and somehow Philippines, New Zealand themselves could have.
They would have had more than 1, 2, 3 goals.
Even New Zealand should have scored in that game.
I'm saying for New Zealand.
Okay, because I don't know everything was just not in their favor, from hitting the woodwork to getting a goal disallowed to having a last minute fantastic save by the Philippine goalkeeper. It's just been a stuff of dreams, isn't it, for the Filipinos? This is a team that is made up of, for them to create their team, they had to get players from all around the world, and made them swear allegiance to this club, to this country. Not really. Some of them don't even have anything Philippine in their blood. There's no their grandparents, there's no ancestral lineage to the Philippines, but they know fully well that they would never get the opportunity to play for probably a country like the United States of America. So they rather the Philippine Football Federation went to these different players, some obscure players from different leagues in the world, got them in, coupled with their own national team players, and they went for the World Cup for the first time, and they've gotten a win, their first ever in the World Cup.
It's almost like getting an asylum. For time I can go play football and find out what, because this team has put in a lot. They've really sacrificed.
You're still 16 years old.
Yes, never can tell. They gave a lot. I listened to the goal scorer of that game. She said for the Philippines, they've played over 40 matches for the last 1 year, and that no nation has been able to do that, to show you how they've taken this World Cup to be as important as it can be for the ladies. And you can see it rubbing off, you can see it paying off for them. They've gotten 1 point today. The next game, 3 points today. The next game, who knows how it's going to be? It's just sometimes you don't have to go and start looking for the players that everybody's dragging, because the player will definitely look at their option and say, let's see how it comes. Let's not forget how Morocco made it to the semi-finals of the World Cup. A lot of unknown players. Yes, we knew them in their club side, but did we envisage them giving that kind of performance in the World Cup? Definitely not. So it's just a dream come true for them, no matter how this competition ends. For the fact they got their first win in the World Cup ever in their history is something that will definitely be celebrated in the country. Imagine how the Philippines will be celebrating in their nation.
Yeah, when I even listened to that girl, I was like, Philippines, their English, they fluent like this.
No, that's the that's the exposure. It's the fact that you are from your side and all. But one thing about English is like in general language. So most times, as a player, you should be able to learn that, or maybe French, because
but that Aroton should still be there now.
It's never that bad.
All right. Well, the Philippine side, they did lose their first game to Switzerland, 2-0. They've won the second one, 1-0, and their next game is going to be against Norway. That's on the 30th of July.
Like this.
So we wait to see how it will end. And now that was not the only game played today. We also saw Colombia defeat South Korea 2-0 with the South American side getting their FIFA Women's World Cup campaign to a bright start. 2-0 it ended. It was the teenage star Saicedo that helped Colombia.
The one we saw in under 20. If anybody can remember that, Linda Saicedo, a fine attacking bite to that side. The first goal was through a penalty that was converted.
Catalina Usme.
Yes, and that's her second goal in the FIFA Women's World Cup on all of her appearances. Linda Saicedo, in her debut appearance, she's getting a goal, a fantastic one. The Colombian side, very aggressive and good too with their positional play. They did quite well against the South Korean side. We just have to see if they can make it out of that group. But with that win, it puts them on a good footing.
All right, for South Korea, they did make history as Casey Fair became the youngest ever player at a Women's World Cup. Now, the forward, who was just 16 years and 26 days, was introduced as a 77th minute substitute. The Asian nation have now lost all 4 of their Women's World Cup opening matches, and they would next face Morocco on the 30th of July in a must-win Group H match before Colombia play Germany. So that's another big game, Colombia against Germany. And we also saw Switzerland and Norway play out a goalless draw. So that's what it is from the FIFA Women's World Cup. Let's take a look at Group A. What does the group look like? It's Switzerland top of the group with 4 points. Whoa. New Zealand are second with 3 points. Philippines have got 3 points as well, while Norway are bottom of the group with 1 point.
Victor,
There's no way that at the Hegerbergs, no way. You know, we didn't see this one coming in anyway.
But that group is still open though.
Very open.
Yes.
Every team can still qualify.
Every team can still qualify, so it's still open.
And in Group B, Group B is just 1 point for. So that's majorly how it is for Group A. You know, with New Zealand now third or second rather, with Switzerland and Philippines. Switzerland top, Philippines third. Let's move on now as we talk about the CAF Cup competitions. As winners of the Nigeria Premier Football League, Eyimba FC have been drawn against Ali Benghazi of Libya ahead of the first preliminary round of the CAF Champions League, while the winner of this tie will trade tackle with the winner of the game between Coton Sports of Benin Republic versus Aztec Mimosa of Ivory Coast. Runners-up Remo Stars will lock horns with Mediama FC of Ghana. The winner will face the Royal AC of Guinea in the second round. Meanwhile, in the CAF Confederations Cup, Bendel Insurance will take on ASO Schlef of Algeria, and the winner will face RS Berkane of Morocco. Rivers United have a bye in the first round and will face the winner between Ziguinchor FC Senegal and Etoile Filante of Burkina Faso. And all right, Zine, let's take a look at the different games now, or the different draws for the Nigerian teams. Starting with Rivers. No, let's start with RS Berkane. The possibility of a Nigerian team once again facing them. And, I mean, it just looks like wherever we go, there's an RS Berkane somewhere just chilling and waiting, and that's for Bendel Insurance. If they're able to get a better of North African side, ASO Schlef of Algeria, they will now face RS Berkane of Morocco.
Definitely. I think from the draws we've had, it's not a bad draw that we want to look at and then we want to cry and say it's not going to work out for us. Definitely not as bad as it should be. Look at the country, the teams to be playing, not the Libya, yes, North Africa, but they are not like the Tunisian side that makes it very difficult for you to win any game. For Bendel Insurance, know that it's been so long they have been in the continent. You ask how far they can go, meaning that they are in this competition as the Federations Cup winners. And also you look at the coach that they have inside of Monday Odigi. Can he be able to take up in this kind of task? But definitely it's not something that he won't be able to achieve, because you look at the club that we're playing against, ASO, which is an Algerian side, and you talk about their performance in CAF competitions. This is their third appearance. They'll be making their third appearance in the CAF Champions, in the CAF Confederations Cup. The last time they did that was in 2006 and 2007. So it tells you that they also too they've had a certain level of disappearance in the African
players.
It's not it's not the same players, but definitely you have to look at these things and you ask yourself, okay, what's the level of experience on the side? We know that for insurance side they've been the CAF Cup winners before, and that was in 1994, and they also played in I think that was the CAF Confederations Cup in the early 2000s. So it's not something to give them a lot of courage, but they are not playing a big side or a regular side that you expect to see in this kind of why ASO is even part of this competition, but they also won their Federation Cup, so that gives them a chance. They were not the league winners of that. They ended 7th in the league. So for a Bendel Insurance side that went unbeaten in the league, and although we saw them sort of maybe fatigue and they stuttered so much in the Super 6 tournament, but you can't write them off. They won the Federations Cup. That means that the players too they have might be of a good quality, but definitely they will do some recruitment